Welcome to this episode of the Mystery Cast right here on Tales of Earth. You can also follow us, support us on Twitch. You can subscribe to this channel. You can support us by buying merch through the link below. And go to patreon.com/comicstorian and buy and help support us there. Stuff like that. We stream this every Monday live at 2 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/comicstorian. And today we are talking about the most haunted places on planet Earth.
I'm just going to say,
turns out
I feel like you
other
do a
planets
lot
are not
better.
haunted. What?
You do a lot better when it's not in front of you. Apparently.
Yeah,
oddly enough.
That was very solid of an intro.
And also when I don't have to follow a certain order.
Yeah.
When I'm not trying to memorize this order of things, I just kind of thank you.
Bravo.
Dan. Thank you, Dan. Thank you. This is Dan.
That is me.
This is Andy.
Glorp you.
Andy, calm down.
Go glorp yourself.
I just love how glorp can be used in so many different contexts.
So many different ways.
Have you guys ever been in a genuinely, or at least as far as people tell you, a genuinely haunted place?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, where?
I
what
went.
your answer is.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Oh no! Oh, the Stanley Hotel.
Stanley
Yeah,
Hotel.
yeah.
Okay.
I still want to go there. I haven't gone there.
It's
We went to. It was something similar. It wasn't a hotel, but it was supposedly like a haunted mansion or something like that, and not like Disney World haunted mansion. Like it was like that was.
Yeah,
it was like
like-
a tour. Yeah.
Oh no!
The pictures
something
are
came
going
out of the
up.
wall.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
was
skeleton
something to
just
do.
hanging there.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't even remember the name of it now off the top of my head.
That actually would be a really cool idea to turn an actual haunted house into a ride.
Yeah, I know, right?
That'd
But
be
like nothing
super
happens the whole
creepy.
time.
You just hire the
Oh,
ghosts.
God.
Yeah.
Sign this contract, please. You just see it like float up.
There you go. All right.
Pencil.
Sweet. You guys are in. How would you like to be paid? PayPal, Venmo,
Souls.
direct deposit,
Souls. Only
we
one
get-
per ride.
Yeah, well, we want you to take the whole family.
What about you, Stanley?
Stanley Hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, which there were multiple things that I was like, okay, this place is probably haunted. I legitimately believe that something's going on there.
Yeah. There was for me growing up in my family, there was always this general attitude that wherever we were, it was haunted for some reason. It didn't matter where the house was or whatever. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
It was haunted.
Sure.
Yeah. It's the this is normal creak, there's a ghost.
When we first moved into our house, so there, the house
The one on the
settles.
Indian
Yeah.
barrel.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
they're all-
the
they're
house,
everywhere.
house settles or the heat will come on and you hear a noise in the house. And at one point, he was like, "Is our house haunted?" And I was like, "Well, we're the first ones to live here. It's a brand new
highly
house.
doubt it.
I hope not."
Yeah. Well, I think that
One of the
turns out-
support beams is haunted.
Yes, one of the support
That's
beams.
what it is.
Where did you get the support beam? Indian burial ground. Actually.
And oddly enough, yeah.
Yeah.
But they spread them out so there's one in each house.
Well, that way the whole neighborhood's
Exactly.
haunted. Yeah,
It brings people together.
it's pretty solid,
That's a great idea.
actually.
Yeah. Someone maniacally just puts haunted objects in
Yeah.
people's houses.
I just had a brilliant idea for a screenplay.
Yes.
You're
yes.
welcome.
You had no help at all.
Ghostbusters Part 4.
What'd you say?
That's your
Say
show.
Ghostbusters Part 4.
Part 4.
Or Afterlife is actually what's going to
Ghostbusters
be
real
called.
estate.
Ghost
Ghostbusters.
swappers.
Ghost
Swappers.
That's when you swap.
You
the
have to live
ghosts.
with my ghost and I'll
yeah,
live
yeah,
with
yeah.
yours.
I like to think that ghosts go searching for real estate. Well, what about this one? Well, we don't have any money, so money's not really an issue for us.
I feel like a lot of them
I
go,
like this
this is too
archway."
new. There's not enough things to creak.
Yeah.
Let's go. This one's got rusted doors. I like this one.
Rusted
I mean,
doors.
honestly, though, if you were,
Not door
if
hinges,
you knew you were
doors.
going to die, let's say
Yeah.
hypothetically, you knew you were going to die, right?
Yeah.
And that you definitely could haunt a place.
I mean, I know I'm
I
gonna
would
die.
go find. No, I'm saying, but you knew when it was going to happen, and that you could definitely haunt a place when
Okay.
when you did die.
Right.
I would go find a nice place to haunt. You know what I'm saying?
I would haunt a shopping mall and tank that shopping mall.
I mean, that shouldn't be too
people-
hard. Most
people
shopping
would-
malls tank
well,
anyway.
yeah.
I would
But now
look
they're
up.
yeah.
I would look up where my enemies live and try and get in a
Haunt that.
central
Yeah,
location
yeah.
to get as many at the
Haunt
same
them
time.
as many as possible,
Exactly.
I would haunt a Best Buy.
A Best Buy.
Interesting.
Why not?
Okay, that would
So
be
you
actually
play with the
really
stuff
I
at
would
night?
tank their store because I would make it known that this place is haunted.
Sure. Yeah.
like
yeah.
people
Yeah.
walk in and all the TVs just go
Yeah. With random letters.
in your face.
And they think it's a message, but it's not. It's just me throwing up random letters. Just throwing them off.
He actually had a message, but he started to drop the keyboard, and he's like, "Oh, it's just pressing all the buttons."
Man.
Your ghost cat walks on the keyboard.
And then I become Freakazoid.
So what's our list today, Gary?
It is the most haunted places in the world. I looked up a couple of lists just in case we needed more, because we never know how long these.
Sure, yeah, it depends on how many jokes I want to crack.
Exactly. This first one definitely takes the cake.
There's cake?
The ghost cake.
Oh.
The cake.
What flavor?
I was going to make a joke, but it doesn't matter.
Ghost flavored.
Ghost flavored. Vanilla.
Vanilla is the flavor of a ghost.
Everybody knows that.
So whenever you smell vanilla at home, you're being haunted.
Yeah.
Not sulfur.
Yeah.
That's
vanilla.
demons. Sulfur's
That's right.
demons. Yeah,
Sulfur's
right.
demons.
Vanilla.
Very
Sulfur
interesting.
demons, vanilla.
Everybody knows that.
Very
And then
interesting
everyone
cake
knows
you have here.
lavender zombies.
What flavor is this? Banana?
That's
sulfur?
ghost. It's ghost, actually.
Yeah. Some ectoplasm icing.
Oh, God. Let's be honest. There would be people that would eat ectoplasm if it was an actual
If
thing.
it was a real thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
People are weird.
It's
Ghost
high in
powers.
vitamin B. I mean, it's very good for you.
It's actually ghost poop.
I get ghost powers that way, right?
Or very sick.
I mean, yes, because you would die.
Yes.
Yeah. You got ghost powers
You
the hard
die.
way.
Oh, I'm a ghost. Woo.
You got ghost powers the hard way. You died.
All right. This list comes from The Getaway, because that's where you want to go to find.
I mean,
a list
honestly,
of haunted
I
places.
probably would.
Yeah.
Like, if we had a little bit of extra time,
Right.
I would probably
Yeah.
swing into the
Well,
haunted
we've said
spot.
a million times that we would do like Stanley Hotel or somewhere haunted, and we would actually vlog and record there.
Yeah.
And I still stand by the fact that if you just keep the lights on and watch Friends the whole time,
You're good.
you're good.
Until
the
it
ghost
starts
is
to-
entertained.
Yes, exactly.
You're entertained.
Man, just don't turn the lights off.
The ghost comes out and is like, oh, this is a good
This
one.
episode.
He like sits down.
The
You're
one
sitting
where
there and you're
everybody's
like, why does
late.
this
That's a
smell
great
like
episode.
vanilla?
Yeah. So number
candle in
one,
The one with the haunted apartment. No? Okay, sorry.
Poveglia Island, Venice. Venice is famous for its lagoons, for streets that you need to use bridges or boat to cross. However, just off its coast is a tiny island that is definitely haunted.
Oh, okay.
This is great writing. Definitely. That island is Poveglia. The townsfolk constructed the island as a quarantine outpost for Venetians who were living with the plague. According to legend, 50% of the soil is actually human remains. In its more recent past, a sanatorium was also opened on the island. Although it's now illegal for visitors to set foot on the island, Poveglia can still be seen from the shore.
Ghosts are just
not
waving.
Creepy at all. Yeah. Hello. So you just have this like decrepit haunted island
Yeah.
that
Smells
nobody can
like
go
vanilla.
to. That smells like vanilla.
On a stiff breeze coming off the island.
Yeah.
Like, the ghosts are getting
How much
blown
does the
in.
real estate go for around there? So you see we have a great view in this apartment of the town square and some shopping and the haunted island. Hello, haunted island.
I give it another 15 to 20 years and somebody will buy this island and
Yes.
turn it into something like
theme park.
high end
Yep.
or something like that.
Yeah, and then it'll be
And then it'll be haunted as
It'll be
hell.
haunted.
And then it'll turn into like, now you can come to the island and
Yeah.
Be
stay at
part
the
of the
haunted
haunted.
What if it's just an endless loop of like building something there, gets haunted, nobody wants to go there, then it's off limits,
And then,
and
yeah,
somebody
it's
builds
just
again.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
We got an Italian place like that.
Olive
It's like they make an Italian place, it closes down, and then in the exact
It's
same
true.
building
Oh, yeah,
they
it's
bring
true.
up
Yeah,
another
yeah, yeah.
Italian
It's always
place.
Italian restaurants.
It's
Yes.
happened like 3 or 4 times in the past like
Pinocchio's
2
now,
years.
right?
Oh man,
Yeah.
Pinocchio's. There was a place in Longmont. Yeah, same thing. London Hammer, Sir London Hammer.
That is me.
He's been knighted recently.
Yes, he has. Yes, in Canada. I don't know.
The London Hammer.
He's from Canada.
Canada.
Number 2, the Tower of London, UK.
I have heard that this one is very haunted.
The Tower of London is one of the most haunted places in Britain. The fortress, which sits on the banks of the Thames, has a gravely bloody history. While these days it's the place to go to see the crown jewels, its tortuous past still clings to its walls. Tower Green has seen more than its fair share of executions. During the Tudor reign of Henry VIII, my great something grandfather, uncle, something like that. I'm related to him in some way. I don't remember how. Traders were sent to, probably not the best time to mention that. Traders were sent to the tower to be beheaded. Those traders included 2 of the king's wives, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard. Boleyn's ghost haunts the place where she was executed, looking for her head.
You wake up. Has anybody seen my head? You see this ghost walking around.
You're like going to sleep. You're like, what is this under my pillow? You like lift it up and it's like, oh, it's head.
Like,
Have you seen my body?
Put that back down.
have you seen my body?
Hey, if you see my buddy around here, just ignore her, all right? She's always constantly looking around for
me.
stuff.
Just shh. I would have my
tell
finger
her
over my mouth.
I used to lose my keys all the time too, and I used to say like if I would lose my head if it wasn't attached to my body.
So can you, oh, that would be hilarious.
That was
Hilarious
good.
conversation. Can you put your your finger over my mouth?
You just
What? Can you put your finger over my mouth. Okay. Shh. Thank you. I needed to do that.
It'd just be funny if like you had a ghost, but it wasn't like an evil spirit. It was just kind of like normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it wasn't really trying to
Like
haunt
a
you. It
Bill
was just
Murray
like
ghost?
Yeah, what's up?
I'd totally be okay with Bill Murray.
Bill Murray as a
Yeah,
ghost. Oh man, you walk into your house, all you hear is Jaws. You remember the song? It was like a love song to Jaws. Oh man, Saturday Night Live. I love it. Like, don't worry,
man.
that's just Bill Murray ghost.
Just Bill Murray ghost. He'll
let
kind
it
of talk to you about what wine you're drinking, but other than that, he just kind of leaves you alone.
He occasionally tells you jokes. It's great.
Watches golf sometimes.
Watches golf sometimes. Refers to himself as the Bill of Rights Murray. All right, number 3, the Queen Mary, Long Beach. Moored in the Long Beach docks is the RMS Queen Mary. She made her maiden voyage in 1930. I need to zoom in again. My eyesight is so bad. She made her maiden voyage in 1936 and stayed in service for 30 years before docking in 1967. Over her time on the ocean, she amassed more than 50 deaths. Whoa. It seems only natural, then, that some of those spirits are still roaming the halls. After topping plenty of top 10 haunted places lists, those in charge opened her up as a haunted hotel of sorts. Who knows what you'll see, especially if you stay in stateroom B340.
So it's the Stanley over on the ocean.
Basically, it's the Stanley of the ocean.
I think they should elaborate on that. The Bentley 340. Like what?
What do you mean?
My guess is,
like, especially if you stay in room, like, well, why?
Let's look it up.
So
You guys talk. I'll look it up.
because I know Stanley has a lot of those where it's like very specific rooms
Like
and
room
like
34 or something.
something like that.
Yeah.
And
This is one Jim Carrey stayed in.
Yep. And he will
Never
refuse to talk about what happened. Well, I learned apparently the reason why that one's haunted is there was an explosion and the maid that was on the top of the floor got like plummeted to the bottom floor and shattered all of her bones. And the only reason she survived was her corset was so tight that it kept her chest and stuff in place.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm. My girlfriend was a tour guide. My ex-girlfriend.
So speaking of cruise ships, though, I read at some point that apparently it is not uncommon
for people to die
on a cruise ship, and they actually have morgues on board.
No shit.
Because it is that not.
Well,
it's not common.
How many people die on the Disney
That's
cruise?
what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I've been on a cruise.
I'm gonna look it up.
I always thought it was weird. I never saw that old lady again.
I mean, it's not like you can get just flight for life like out there.
Yeah.
That's pretty scary.
So so it's not like it happens every cruise, but apparently it is not uncommon for like the elderly or something to pass away on a cruise.
Oh wow, yeah. I looked it up. Apparently in 2015 there were like 3 people that died on a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Creepy. So yeah.
All right. Stateroom B340 has a large volume of recorded paranormal activity, with many stories of haunted encounters noted in the ship's logs. Reports date back to the final ocean voyage in 1967 and include complaints from guests staying in B340 claiming that someone was knocking on the door in the middle of the night. Other complaints.
That's just children.
It could have been been somebody knocking on your door if you don't check.
Ghosts.
Yes.
Children
of dead people, maybe.
Other complaints include
Child's
bathroom
dying.
lights turning on by themselves, the sink faucet turning on and off on its own. That is a little more creepy. And unexplained bathroom doors shutting. Some guests have reported the covers of their bed being pulled off while asleep. That's creepy. And waking to see a dark figure standing at the foot of the bed.
This is why it
Happened to me once.
This is why I have a gun.
So you can shoot ghosts.
That's
Do
why
you
he
know
has
if
the rock salt gun.
Do you know if ghosts are bulletproof?
But I can imagine they're still scared of the gun, you know? Like you pull the gun out like, oh no. And then they go back to their ghost friends like, really, you got scared by a gun again?
Again, we can't get hurt by those. It was really scary, though.
It's a big gun. It's a habit. During voyage years, the space encompassed 3 third-class staterooms and has since been remodeled to become one large guest room suite. A perfect blend of authentic style and modern amenities. B340 is larger than the average cruise ship, blah, blah, blah. Okay,
I'd stay there.
that's just about the room.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
Yeah. Okay, so it's just creepy things that have happened in the room. No specific reason. It's not like something special happened.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
It's not like the Stanley where there were specific rooms
Yeah.
where specific things happened. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's still something. I'm glad it's docked as like a haunted tour now instead of.
Oh,
you're trapped on it.
I actually won't lie. I thought it was. They still went on cruises.
It's like docked, yeah.
It's
Damn it,
permanently
that would
docked.
be way better.
yeah, right. You're like, can I get another
They
room?
don't
I'm
tell
sorry,
you.
ma'am. All of the rooms
You
are
can
actually
swim.
booked.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You need
So,
to go back. You're like, I want to leave. Oh, it's
So I see
not
on this
that far.
I mean, we'll be
manifest,
back in a week.
I see on the manifest we have capacity for 400. Yes, and there are 23 guests, but all the rooms are booked. Can you explain that, please?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah.
And then he evaporates as it goes.
Ghosts need vacations too.
That is true.
But then
That's
you get
how we got
used to it.
Casper.
Yeah, exactly.
Casper was on a cruise and he came back. I'm like, I'm friendly now.
I'm friendly now.
I'm pretty sure that's how the story
He just
goes,
needed
right?
a break. He
Casper,
just needed a
yeah,
it's
vacation.
Casper the angry ghost. He goes on the ghost
Casper
cruise and then he comes back and he's Casper the friendly ghost.
You got to
For like a week, and then reality sets back in, and
he
it
was
becomes
like
Casper the
Exactly.
disgruntled
It's like
ghost.
a yearly
Casper the
cruise he goes
disgruntled
on.
Yeah. That's generally how it works.
Oh man.
That's actually what the ghost hunters do when they arrive. They're like, okay. Have you sent them on a cruise yet?
Have you tried vacations?
Yeah. So my room is really haunted. It's in Virginia. Like it's this house over here. Blah blah blah. You give all the details. Like, they need a cruise. Yeah.
Just leave this ticket on
This ticket.
I'm
Yes.
the ghost whisperer.
You need a break. You've been hunting too long. Take a day off.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Oh
Go
man,
watch Friends.
it's a good.
It's a good one. Yeah, so I'm really glad that this thing is not like out to sea. Like you get out there, they just neglect to tell you.
I still
By the
wish-
way, our ship is extremely haunted.
That would be such a good movie.
That would actually be a really good.
Yes,
movie.
it would. Yeah.
That actually would be a really good.
That
movie.
would be a really good one.
So have you guys
Oh,
have
man.
you ever been on a cruise? So
I haven't, no,
So when you
actually.
go on a cruise, the captain does come over like the loudspeaker system
Yeah.
and kind of gives like a a welcome speech kind
Yes.
of thing.
Right.
So that would be really hilarious
Yes.
if you're on this cruise and the captain comes over. He's like, by the way, we're
all say
we're
goodbye?
extremely haunted.
Yeah.
But the show starts at 6, which is nice.
Yeah, which is nice.
and then they see the captain later, and it's a woman. They're like,
Wait, whose
Wait,
voice? was
"Whose
that?
voice? That
Man,
was
this would
the
actually be a
old
really-
captain from 100 years ago."
100.
This
Yep.
would actually be a really good movie. I'm
He
not gonna
really
lie.
needed
It would, yeah.
vacation.
Would it be like
It would be good.
Eddie Murphy again? What he did? I think he did
Haunted
Haunted
Mansion?
Mansion.
Yeah,
it would
I
just be
guess.
Eddie Murphy on a ship.
Kinda, yeah.
I'm
That's
getting-
the Haunted
no,
Mansion too.
It needs
Jim
to be like
Carrey would be
snakes
the
on a
ghost
plane,
captain.
but ghosts on a ship.
So it's Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yes.
Oh, what's the next one?
Yes.
again?
All right. Number 4. Myrtles Plantation, Louisiana. You might have heard of the Myrtles Plantation before, especially if you loved haunted locations. Or love haunted locations. All the greatest paranormal television series have covered this historic antebellum plantation, from ghost hunters to ghost adventurers. That's like the optimistic ghost hunters. Its ghosts, I'm assuming is what they mean, have also been caught on camera, with the most famous photograph being of a slave girl named Chloe. Myrtles has a sordid history, tainted by those who lived there during the home's heyday. I don't know that I would call the days of slavery its heyday.
Well, I think when they mean heyday, they mean like the time when people actually live there all the time.
Okay, that makes
Not
sense.
like it's great.
Okay, I was
It's
gonna say
greatest
you
time
might-
in history.
I was going to say you might want to reconsider.
slavery.
You might want to reconsider your writing. Here.
No, yeah, I would assume they mean like
yes,
when people
I
actually
think
live
so.
there on a constant basis.
I hope so.
Well, that's true. I hope
really
so.
hope
We don't
so.
know the writer. He could be super racist. We
I
don't know.
One of the creepiest parts of the plantation is the ghostly mirror. Visitors have seen handprints and drip marks appear on the glass. Not only that, but they're also impossible to clean. This is actually a pretty common,
Interesting.
like poltergeist.
Yeah.
Where you have like a handprint on something, or there's a stain that won't go away. Even when you literally replace the
Right.
thing, it comes back. It's just
Just a dick poltergeist just messing with all your stuff.
Yep.
He's like,
It'll be great. I'm gonna put my middle finger here.
yeah.
They're gonna come out and be like, "Oh, what the
This is
hell?"
what you get for replacing my mirror.
So what'd you do today? Smudged all the windows.
I'm gonna look up. Do you guys want to see this ghost picture?
Sure, yeah.
Of Chloe. Let's see here. How can I? Okay, photograph.
It's Casper, the dickish ghost.
It was disgruntled.
That was actually the Casper that died during his teenage
man.
years.
Yeah.
It's the teenage angst ghost.
Okay.
What'd you do today? Let all the air out of their tires. Just to be
Images.
a
Okay,
dick.
so this is the picture, and I don't.
Oh yes. Okay,
I don't
so
see
there's
it.
the head.
I don't see it. Hang on.
I mean, I can. You can definitely see it when you look very, very close to it.
Open image, a new tab.
Jesus,
Just freeze and enhance.
Enhance.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, honestly, I don't. Honestly,
That's
That
a
looks like it could be
pattern.
A pattern, a reflection, the
Yep,
lights.
That's not a.
I don't. This
no.
is to me. This is that.
I've seen
what
way
do you call
creepier
that
pictures.
syndrome where it's like you see faces
Yes,
and things?
like the face on Mars.
Pareidolia.
Yeah. That's what that looks like.
What's
to
it
me.
called?
Pareidolia.
Yes,
or
pareidolia.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I've
thought-
seen
I thought that was
some.
the-
I've seen some pictures where it's like, okay, I can definitely
Right.
see it.
I thought-
This to me just
yes.
looks like the lighting.
I thought that was the fear of doilies.
No, that's doily phobia.
Doilophobia.
Pareidolia is
Yeah,
when you're scared of
pareidolia.
two doilies next to each other.
That look like
yeah.
a ghost face.
It's a pair of doilies.
You have a phobia of a pair of doilies.
Oh man.
A single one, you're fine.
You're fine.
Just don't put them near each other.
So
Yeah, no, honestly, if you look up this photo though,
It's
I don't.
not.
That
yeah.
one does look different. There are a couple
Yeah.
even pulling
where
it up
you
on the
do
screen,
see.
it won't do it justice.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, I have seen some where I'm like, okay, there is something there,
Right.
But this particular one,
Or
to me,
some
doesn't-
that
isn't that way.
like people have verified is not Photoshop.
Sure, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Because as well as you Photoshop something, an expert can tell.
Yes.
that it's
I've always wanted to go
100%.
here.
the Paris catacombs,
actually.
number 5.
I really
Paris
want to.
catacombs.
If I
creepy as it
when
is.
I ever go to France, there will be.
Yes.
I will visit this.
And that's the thing is like I personally I think paranormal activity exists in some way. I don't know how to explain it. I think it's some kind of energy because we've
Aliens.
proven that energy cannot be destroyed, created. So when a life form dies, that energy goes somewhere.
Something.
And
yeah,
so
yeah,
I think
yeah.
something changes, something happens for a space, especially when it happens a lot in a
Sure,
certain
yeah.
space. And so places like this don't actually scare me because I think there's a logical explanation. Of course, I would be the guy who's like off immediately. Like, guys, there's nothing
ghosts
there.
Don't even exist, and then like something cuts his head straight off,
Either that or a knife would come through his chest. Oh my god!
and then the ghost leans around his shoulder and winks.
So, in order to survive a ghostly encounter like
Which
a
is the
haunted
very
situation,
creepy
yeah.
one.
Yeah. Well, you know who's next after that? It's the couple who's with you.
That's
like,
true.
despite what they just saw, are like, you want to go make out somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
Well,
yeah.
that was weird.
Yeah.
Let's go bang.
But then the girl would hear something and say, "You should go check it out."
Yeah. He's like,
And then they
don't
both
worry,
die.
girl, I got this.
But then he would like, I'm not gonna put my clothes on. I'm gonna just throw in a towel while I
Yeah.
check out to see if this ghost
check
is
out.
here.
It could be a ghost or an intruder. I'm just gonna wear a
knows?
towel.
So either way, I should wear my towel.
Just wear a towel. Not arm myself in any
Man, we
way.
need to write a movie.
Oh, my
That's good. All
goodness.
that's
Like a
take place on the ghost
realistic
ship.
horror movie,
Yes.
but like everybody
Yeah.
does what you would actually probably do in that
Yes.
situation.
Yeah. There was, I think there was, what was it? There was like a Geico commercial or something where it was like a scary
Yes,
situation.
and they're like, "Let's go hide in that the
Yes.
shed full of chainsaws."
Yes. They're like, what?
Why don't
And
we
they-
get in the car?
The running car and even the guy's just like,
Quick, go hide
would
in
you-
the. What
You
is
know
it?
what we
Go
all should
hide in
do?
the graveyard.
Yes. You know what we should do? Split up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Number 5,
I kinda-
Paris Catacombs.
I'll say I would love to do a Big Brother style show in a
Yes.
haunted house.
Yes.
I feel like that would be probably one of the best because you don't tell them it's a haunted house. They just think it's
They
a
just think
normal
they're
like
just
Big
yeah,
Brother
like
thing.
a normal like
Then
real
you can determine
world.
if it's really haunted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Haunted
there are
real
so
world.
many things. Oh, that would be
cool.
good.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
But then they would just get
I'm
into
surprised they actually haven't done something
Yeah.
like that. Honestly.
But if it's real world, they would just get into a fight with the ghost about how offended they are about something the ghost did.
some guy would come
Exactly.
down and be like, "Brody, why'd you drink all my beer, man?" He's like, "I didn't." And then you see like footage of like the beer rising up.
All right.
Anyway,
Paris is a hotbed of sprawling cemeteries that house the remains of famous souls, from Jim Morrison to Baudelaire.
Really?
Jim Morrison.
I didn't know that.
I thought he was
Wait, why do I know that name?
The Doors.
the Doors.
Oh.
I thought
Wait, what?
I thought his grave was in the U.S.
Yeah, so did I. I didn't know he was in the Paris
Maybe it's a
Catacomb.
different Jim Morrison.
It's possible. Can you
probably a
buy
different
your
Jim
way
Morrison.
in there? Do you get to
slip a couple
Do you
of
get to
20s?
reserve a spot for
Yeah,
your
yeah,
skull?
Dan, I literally just saw your eyes glint with hope.
Dan's like, I'll
Like
start
a little
saving
bit.
now.
A little bit.
I'll
I
start
won't
saving
lie.
right now.
I won't lie. If
man.
I could,
What?
I said I'll start saving right
Yeah.
now.
it'd be cool, right?
Yeah. I just want to be knighted on my gravestone.
Even better.
Jason David Frank made a movie about a guy whose dream was to have lunch at Jim Morrison's grave. Anyway.
And now
Came out of
apparently he was going to the wrong
Yes.
location because it was in the
Yeah.
catacombs.
There is, however, a darker side to Paris' dead. Originally, Paris had only one cemetery, Les Innocents, in the center of the city. However, why would you have only one cemetery? Wow. However, with the time and its increasing role as a European hub, the cemetery walls literally burst with the weight of all the bodies. Ooh. After this, Paris had to figure out a place for its dead. I wouldn't want to be on that committee.
I think they hired that guy that decorated that other bone
Yes.
place.
Yes.
They were like, we
The church.
saw that chandelier that you made. Can you kind of do our catacombs?
We will give you wine and cheese.
A little bit. Beckett.
That place was the catacombs. Beneath Paris, 200 miles of tunnels existed.
That's crazy.
From limestone quarries that were used to build the city we know today. The bones of Les Innocents were shifted into the old quarries where walls of remains can be seen and visited to this day.
It is one of my. Is it weird that it's on my bucket list?
No. Honestly, at least of the creepy places you could go, this one at least is iconic.
We already covered this one. Yeah, it's
Oh,
iconic.
it's the Island
but
of Dolls.
I can imagine
Yeah,
it's
I don't
so haunted that the ghosts just take turns.
They're like, oh, can
They're
you
like,
deal with
it's-
this guy? I did it
yeah.
last week.
Because I know they do.
Yeah.
I mean, assuming they do tours, but I could be wrong.
Probably.
Obviously,
I'm sure
they're not
they
going to
do.
do
I'm
all
sure
of
they
it. It's
do.
200 miles, but
Welcome
sure
to the
they do.
200-mile tour.
I hope you
They'll
all brought
rest-
lunch.
100 miles
Yeah.
of...
Now,
I hope you're
now
prepared.
there's a marathon for you. It's all underground
And it's actually not
And
really
only-
a marathon. It's who can get the furthest.
without dying.
Without
Before
Oh,
dying,
man.
and that's where their skull goes in the catacombs.
That's how they mark it.
It's actually how they decided it back
Yeah.
in the day.
I like it.
They had
Solid.
really fast runners that could go really far.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wow.
number 6.
We
Before the
covered
days of
this one
cars.
last week, but I'll mention it. Isla de la Muñecas,
The
Mexico.
Island of the Dolls.
Yeah, the Island of the Dolls.
I
We
would
don't
go to
need
the
talk about this one.
the actual catacombs over an Island of Dolls.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you go to a
Yeah.
catacomb of dolls?
No, that'd be creepy as shit.
A catacomb.
Another
that would be
movie.
More creepy.
Okay, we
That
need to
would
get
be
like
more
a
creepy.
notepad and just
No,
write
no,
down
write
movie
down
The
movie
ideas.
ideas.
catacomb of dolls is in the bowels of the ship,
Which is haunted.
which is haunted.
That's on a cruise,
And
Yes.
it's shaped like a giant doll.
and they go
actually
to
a-
the Island of Snakes.
The Island of Snakes.
It's a
That's where they
Russian
dock.
nesting
That's
doll.
where they dock. Yeah.
A haunted Russian nesting doll.
Haunted Russian.
So
nesting
every
doll.
single time you took it out was another soul.
Interesting. So you
Interesting.
just
And as you go
defeat
down-
one, and then each one
That
is
was how they were
progressively worse
originally,
until you get to
buried
the center
families.
one, which is the most evil soul
Yes.
of the entire nesting
Yes.
doll.
And the rest are containing
I'm
them.
gonna start keeping a
Interesting.
notepad
Those are
out
great
when we're doing
ideas.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7, the Stanley
Hey!
Hotel, Colorado.
I want to stay there.
Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick fans will recognize the Stanley Hotel in Colorado, even if they don't realize it at first. The Stanley is the hotel that inspired one of King's most beloved books, The Shining. King and his wife Tabitha spent a night in the Stanley Hotel while they were staying in Boulder. It was the end of the season and the hotel was closing down for winter, meaning the pair had the empty hallways and dining areas all to themselves. A massive, empty hotel in the middle of nowhere? Back when he stayed there, it probably was much less developed than it
Yeah,
is
I would
It
assume.
was.
Yeah.
There was like
yes.
3 buildings or
Yeah.
something.
You can see how King might have been inspired. Not only that, but it's also reputedly one of the most haunted hotels in America.
Yes, Stephen King has said that nothing haunted happened to him while he was there. It was
It just
merely
inspired, yeah.
the isolation.
There were some
inspired.
things I
Yes.
heard that he did like mention to the staff that he saw certain people because the twins was originally one girl that he had mentioned to one of the people that worked there. Like there were some children running around and she was like, there's no children here. You're the only person. There are, because I do
Yeah.
know that there are some that
Right.
did stick, like he did actually experience.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
That's super creepy.
However, he did
Kids are
change
cre-
it into the
kids
twins
are creepy to me
and stuff
anyway.
like that.
Well,
Your children creep me the hell out.
Especially, yeah, they do some creepy things.
Yeah.
Like walking into my room in the middle of the night, and I just she's just
Staring
standing
at
there
you.
at the bed
With a
that's,
knife.
That's creepy.
I used to do that, but to pee in my parents' hamper, apparently.
Interesting.
They told me once there was a time that
So
I
you were
woke up.
the dickish ghost.
Apparently once I woke
It's-
up, walked into my parents' bedroom, and they were like, Dan, what are you doing? And I walk up to the hamper and I just start taking
Without
out
a
my
word?
pants to go to the bathroom. And they were like, no.
No.
The hell?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
so.
apparently that was.
Children do have this this
weird.
incredible gift for especially now that we have video monitors.
Mm-hmm.
They have night vision and stuff.
as fuck.
It is super creepy because they somehow know when you've turned on the monitor to check on them because they look at it and their eyes are reflective.
And
it's
they
super
somehow
creepy.
know that it's in black and white and not good quality because then
Just
it's
do
even
this.
creepier.
They do.
And then they do the
kids,
smile.
Yeah, kids be very creepy.
And then their heads spin all the way around.
Yeah, that's normal, right? They'll grow out of that.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows.
They
female
get
head-
up, start doing the Charleston. You're like, what the hell's wrong with my kid?
My wife and I did
No?
the Stanley Hotel ghost tour on our honeymoon.
Oh, did you?
So yeah, we honeymooned in. Why can I not think of where it is? What in the
Estes?
world? Estes. Thank you. What? Words, people. So we went to Estes for our honeymoon. And we did the ghost tour on our honeymoon, and then we watched The Shining later. and I was
Did
like,
you experience anything? Did you watch the movie or the TV show that he made?
The movie that he did not like
Yeah.
because it was not the Stanley.
Yeah.
And it also he just didn't like it.
Did you
Yeah.
experience anything? No.
No. I mean, it was an interesting tour.
Day tour or night tour?
Day.
I would
Yeah,
explain
that's
it.
the thing. I actually have a theory about that. I wonder if solar radiation actually has something to do with paranormal activity. Like
It
influx-
suppresses them?
Yes.
I could see it.
Less solar radiation during night actually. I don't know. I don't know.
It turns
Yeah.
out the moon is not moving just the tides, but people's spirits. Another great movie.
Yeah, that should be in the trailer. All right, let's move on. Stanley Hotel, Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. That just looks haunted.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick out a building,
Yes.
That looks like Hogwarts if it was like a
Canadian
hotel.
Hogwarts.
if it was in Canada,
Canadian
Hogwarts,
Hogwarts hotel.
everybody's super polite.
Very nice.
Yeah.
You're- Instead of doors slamming shut, they hold open for you to walk through.
The Sorting Hat asks you which house you want to be in.
So what hat were you thinking about, eh?
All right, Banff Springs Hotel was built by the Canadian Pacific Railway and is one of the earliest Canada's Grand Railway hotels, and it sits in the center of Banff National Park. This haunting castle-like hotel also has many ghost stories to its name. One of the hotel's famous ghosts is the bride. Her story dates back to the roaring 1920s. A bride on her wedding day lost her footing and fell down the stairs. Since then, she's been seen by plenty of staff and visitors on the stairs on which she died. Many say she's reliving those final moments on the wedding she never got to have. If you check into Banff Springs, you might even get lucky and stay in one of the haunted rooms.
So lucky.
Probably very polite ghosts, I can imagine. I mean, very nice.
Tuck you in.
Yeah.
Make sure the TV's off.
Make
if
sure
you
there's
fell
fresh
asleep
donuts in the morning. Yep.
And the best part, the hotel smells like vanilla.
Yes.
The whole
whole time. That reminded me of something, and I've lost it.
Could you imagine that though? If instead of people saying oh, I just walked through a cold spot, they're like, I just walked through a vanilla spot. What the hell?
That was amazing.
That would
Let
be
me see if I
pretty
can do it
sweet.
again.
Yeah.
A vanilla spot. Gettysburg Battlefield, Pennsylvania. The American Civil War is one of the bloodiest conflicts in history. It should then go without saying that its battlefields might be some of the most haunted places in America. Gettysburg was the turning point of the Civil War when the fall of the Confederacy became a realistic possibility. Visiting Gettysburg might surprise you, as if you ask anyone where the battlefield is, they'll say you're standing on it. They aren't wrong either. There are plenty of ghost stories that center around the actual battlefield, which is now part of the Gettysburg National Park, an area such rich in history, probably so rich in history, it's unsurprising there might be ghostly soldiers roaming the landscape.
I feel like
Screaming.
that would actually be not this place in particular, but that idea of the haunting of from a battle or something like that. I could see that being if your house, let's say it was haunted, something like that
Like
would
they
have
had
happened
built-
there.
yeah.
Maybe there was a battle
Like
there
a
long
skirmish,
ago.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
whether or not it's Native Americans.
Sure,
or
yeah, but maybe
like,
something happened. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I mean, when it comes down to it, there's a reason why a lot of times people are like, I mysteriously found a skull in my backyard, and it's like because no one really
Not something
knows.
I want to find in my backyard.
No, definitely not.
I've only found 4. It's not that bad. To be fair, I put
bad at all.
3 of them there.
Well, you do also.
The other one just magically appeared after.
Yeah.
I
You
put them in
also
there.
you also
I think they're
live in
mating.
that neighborhood where every house has something.
That is
haunted
true.
in it,
Yeah, that we
so,
got the
yeah.
joist, the haunted joists.
What if you were haunted by a future ghost of yourself that was trying to prevent you from dying, but you thought it was haunting you, and it inevitably made you die and become the ghost?
So
Interesting.
I know you would never.
I
have
would
watched
call it Ghost Cycle.
There is a show on Netflix called The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes.
Which is
I've-
based off a novel.
I've seen.
Yes. I
And
saw the movie.
that is in the show.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw
It turns
that.
out she is being haunted by her future self as she basically watches her life flash before her eyes.
Well, I guess I was right that it
Yeah.
would make a great show slash
Did they
movie.
do that in the movie though?
I don't think so in the movie.
Because it
It's
came
been
out,
a
it was like,
minute
what,
since I've seen that
90,
movie. It's like
97,
90 something
98?
like
Yeah.
that. The show is very good. You would
yeah.
not like it
Oh,
at all.
I lay down. I would.
Yeah. That's a pretty.
Me and my wife watched it, and she had rules. We could only watch it during the day,
That's fair.
and we were only allowed to watch 1 episode
That's fair.
per day because
Yeah.
she didn't want to watch more.
My rule was
I-
always, if I will watch something scary, but you have to stay the night. I am not going to be by myself.
Right.
Like that was always my rule, is as long
Yeah.
as I am not left alone,
Because
I will put up with
ghosts
it.
will get you.
That's exactly when the ghost gets
That
you.
is true. Yes.
I've told you a million times. Just keep friends going on your phone or something.
But let's be honest, even if I was by myself, they
Imagine-
would appear in the show. They would be the
Yeah.
yes.
Let's take
Yeah.
the most haunted show or movie we can find, but add a laugh track. I wonder what that would do
Probably
for the
Haunting of
10.
Hill House.
Haunting
I
of
wonder
Hill
if
House,
that
they
would
scare
like-
them, they die. Ha, ha, ha.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
I wonder
yeah.
how much that would like alleviate the
Right.
tension. Because obviously, it's the imagery, it's
Dan's
the
sitting
music,
there with a laugh
it's
track
the
button.
Yeah,
He's
I'm like, it's too scary. Ah! Except then halfway through, the voice changes.
because you're running out of batteries.
Or
Like-
ghost
Just
haunted.
imagine, like it's the show, like something haunted is happening, like the people are staring terrified, and you just hear in the background. It's like,
And then
kind of
occasionally
alleviates some of the
something happens,
tension.
and you
Oh,
just hear a studio audience.
Aw.
Aww.
Was this written by like Bruce Campbell or something?
I actually want to do that. I want to see
yeah.
what
Then
happens.
we also have the Michael Bay one where you just set off
It's just
explosions every now and then.
explosions. Oh man, the creepiest thing in the '90s Haunting of Hill House was the breathing door. That was very creepy. Did you ever, so they like come up to this door and there's something going on the other side. And you don't know what's going on. Then the door starts like expanding, like it's breathing.
So kind of
Like-
similar to Coraline,
I never
Like
saw
the-
it, actually. I never
the
saw
like
Coraline.
tunnel that she has to go through.
Kind
So
That movie was very terrifying for a
for a
kids,
kids
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Most kids movies really have terrifying undertones.
Oh yeah.
10 Leap Castle, Ireland.
I'm gonna
just-
guess.
I just got Safety Dance stuck in my head. I just imagined a bunch of dwarves.
You're going into a haunted castle. You're like, oh, I got to alleviate some tension. You just put on some safety dance.
We can dance. Make an S, another S.
This isn't so bad.
Sorry.
The ghosts start dancing. Yeah, this is a great song.
Don't haunt that guy. I
Yeah,
like his
no,
music
I like
choice.
it.
You were gonna say something beforehand. I can't remember what it is
I
now.
have no idea.
Leap Castle, Ireland. To experience, okay, so one thing that really struck me when I went to Ireland many years ago was how many castle ruins there are.
Oh, yeah.
They are
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
They're all over the place. They're just on the side of the road, and then we stopped at the Obama gas station. Then we went down the road a little further, and there were
Did you
more.
say thanks, Obama, when you were
No,
pumping
I
your
did
gas?
not.
All right,
It was the strangest thing to find a shrine to Obama.
Hold on, you're
in
being
the-
serious.
Yes, I am completely serious.
in Ireland?
It was Obama Station. It was a gas station of Obama.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm not even kidding.
All right.
It was like his pictures everywhere, like memorabilia, the whole place.
I wonder if it was called Obama
themed.
Station
It was.
beforehand, and then they
I don't know.
like adopted the
I don't know.
image.
Then they saw the president. They stole our
Yeah.
name.
Obama's-
we're gonna lean
Obama's
into
like-
it. We're gonna lean into it. It's gonna
Obama's
be-
Gaelic for something.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
goodness.
so it was very strange. Probably the strangest thing I saw in
But yes, there are a lot of
Yeah, they're
just
they're all over
ruins
the
of
place.
castles, yeah.
To experience a real castle, you've got to go to Europe. Leap Castle in
Well, yeah.
Ireland is one of those
where they
real
were.
castles. Yes.
The
Where
funny
else
thing
would
I
you
want to
go?
actually mention about that was when I was in London for the Spider-Man thing, I was on one of the bus tours, and the driver's like, and this building is one of our youngest buildings. It's only 250 years old.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, many of you from America might think that's a long time, but in actuality, it's really not.
realistically.
It's really not. That's how they were with a lot of their pubs. Like this pub has
Yeah.
been standing here since 1,000 years ago. Like,
Yeah. It actually used to be a castle
Yeah.
of a very poor man.
They-
And we still haven't
Uh,
updated
yeah.
the bathrooms.
still haven't. Just a hole in the ground. Okay, so you've got to go to Europe. Leap Castle in Ireland is one of those real castles. Its haunting history almost precedes its reputation. Leap Castle, pronounced Lep. Okay, so Lep Castle is the most haunted castle in the world and one of Ireland's most haunted places to go. Built over the top of land that was previously occupied by Druids, the castle has darker stories that we probably won't ever know about. In the 20th century, an oubliette filled with human skeletons was discovered in the chapel walls. Could these be the ghosts that haunt its halls? I'd say probably.
You should burn those with salt.
Yeah.
This is true.
I-
Because salt
Purifies.
Purifies?
and purifies
And purifies.
for some reason.
Well, that was
I don't
10
know.
out of 10 for that list. We still have probably 20 minutes to go. If we want. Do we want to go through another list? One of China's most popular tourist attractions is also most haunted.
Well, soon we're
These
gonna
are
get
haunted
the-
places in Asia.
Haunted places in Asia.
Yes. I feel like that list was very Western European.
Oh,
North
yeah.
American.
Oh, yeah.
So I was curious about
Everybody knows
other
nothing
places.
bad ever happened in Asia.
Yeah, not at all.
Why would there be hauntings?
Yeah, Japan
Japan, they've got a whole forest.
is Japan is one of the like creepiest places in the
Yeah.
world.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it is.
there's a reason they have like the yokai, like
Yes.
lore and stuff,
yes,
which sounds
Yeah.
very cool.
and
Actually,
why they do horror, like ghost horror. kind of
there's a
stuff
reason
better.
we got the Grudge and the Ring from
Yes.
Japan.
All right. Let's see here. All right. A trip to Asia is a far-flung event with ancient temples. This comes from travelandleisure.com. A trip to Asia is a far-flung event with ancient temples, diverse cuisines, and colorful traditions. But there's also a darker side to experience. One of the tales of ghosts and creepy things that go bump in the night. From a former war prison with a rumored roaming resident to a haunted fort in India, where you are forbidden to go at night. It's like, trust me,
You don't want to go
you
there.
don't want to go there.
Unless you want to join the ranks,
Yeah, it's that typical scene in a movie where they walk away like, yeah, they're gonna go there, aren't they? Yeah, probably.
and
'Cause
they
they're
stand on
Americans.
their porch with a lantern as they watch,
They're
and
like-
they go,
You don't want to go there.
Don't go there at night. And then they walk away. So we're going there at night, right?
And
and then they turn
obviously,
back
obviously.
around, and they're gone.
Turns out
Way
they-
back inside. Nope.
Where was I? Prison, plenty of places. Okay, so next time you're in Beijing, take a
haunted
second
is a
look at the
ghost
Forbidden
and-
City,
Yeah.
an unbelievably popular tourist attraction that is typically closed to the living at least at night, or
Close to the living.
closed to the living.
Sorry, I brought my dead friend. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he can come.
He's
in.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, let him in.
Or head to some of these other spots at your own risk, because along with Asia's rich history is a more sinister past that, if you ask some people, is still alive and well today. All
What if I'm
right.
only mostly alive?
As opposed to mostly dead?
Yes.
Nice. Bangar. Yeah. A lot of H's in there. Bangar Fort, India. This impressive 17th century fort located in Rajasthan, India, was once home to royalty, but now it's one of the most haunted places in the country. Bangar Fort was built in 1631, complete with the temples and a palace, before it was suddenly and mysteriously abandoned. That's never a good sign. There are several stories.
Everybody out!
Everybody out.
Run! It's gonna be a great prank.
Well, it's like all the abandoned cities in South America.
Yeah.
They literally, to this day, are still trying to figure out why these places are abandoned.
It's best not to fat.
Started smelling too much like vanilla.
There are several stories used to explain why people left this once great fort. One legend says that someone placed a curse upon the fort because it was casting a shadow over their home. Wow.
I mean, when I get a
Talk
shadow
about-
cast to my home, my first thought is I should curse that place.
Yep, my real estate value has tanked.
So clearly, a
So
curse
that's a
is the
curse.
only
Should
thing
we
to
sell?
save.
Nah. We're gonna curse him.
We're gonna curse them. So living next to a cursed place is better for real estate value?
No, tourism goes up. So.
I hate to
Tourism
say it,
goes up.
actually.
Yeah,
there would be
tourism goes up.
people that
Yeah.
would be like, no, I will pay $3 million to live near a haunting.
Yeah.
And another attributes its ruin to a love potion gone wrong. Whatever the cause, visitors are no longer allowed in after dark, but you can visit during daylight hours if you dare.
Curse, love potion. Pretty much same thing.
Why was the fort abandoned? Everybody died from all the banging.
You should be a tour guide in India. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
That's
how it
here we
happened.
go. You should be a tour guide here. Lawang, Sewu, Indonesia.
Welcome to Lawang.
This building has a storied history. It was built in the early 1900s as an outpost for the Dutch East Indies Railway Company before it was taken over by Japanese soldiers and used as a prison during World War II. Later, it was the site of a bloody altercation between Dutch and Indonesian forces. While it's certainly a hotbed for ghosts in general, it's one ghost in particular that gets people's attention. A young Dutch woman who died by suicide is said to roam the property. Why is it always
She
a woman?
hot. I'm just,
It's a valid question.
I'm just saying.
She died from all the bang.
She died from all the
This- I
banging
think that was it.
at Lowang.
That's a really short list.
This is a very short list. Apparently, Asia is not very
Well, you got the
haunted.
Forbidden City you didn't do.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I know.
it's forbidden.
The Forbidden City,
wanna go?
China. The
Yeah.
Forbidden City has been the home of Chinese emperors for 5 centuries, and it is one of the most popular places for tourists to visit in Beijing.
Well, clearly it's not that forbidden anymore.
The
It's
Forbidden
actually
is- it's
the
just a
city
title.
formerly known as Forbidden.
Yeah.
Come on in.
Yeah. The palace complex is typically closed to the public at night, adding to its. Well, I can imagine it's closed. It's a tourist spot.
Most tourist places are actually closed at night.
Seriously, adding to its spooky
Except the
allure.
ones that aren't.
Adding to its spooky allure because ghosts only come out after dark. Of course, one of the most popular legends is that of a ghostly woman in white who can be heard crying inside the palace. Reports of this specific ghost date back to the 1940s.
So we don't know if there's actually ghosts, but everybody's like, you have to leave at night because of all the spookiness.
They're also like, we heard a sound.
Yeah,
Clearly,
yeah, yeah.
it's a woman in white. We didn't. We never saw her.
Well, of
but we
course.
heard her. So she's
But
definitely
we're not
a woman in
allowed
white.
in.
We're not allowed in there after dark, so we don't actually know.
There was a super creepy movie I watched as a kid called The Woman in White, and it was all about this.
I
ghost
remember the
woman
name.
who, like, yeah.
This is a supernatural episode. I think it's episode 1, actually. It's called The Woman in White.
That
Yeah, it was
would why. I,
episode one.
Yeah,
okay,
I was gonna
that's
say, I'm
why I
pretty sure, yeah.
recognize it then.
Here you
I
go,
just
Andy.
remember the woman
You
in white
should
being
also be a tour guide here. Ancient Ram Inn.
Get it? Yeah, ancient ramen.
Yeah, everybody dies.
Because of
From
all
Because
the
of all the
ramen.
ramen.
Oh, man.
You get ramen after your ramen.
Thanks, Dan.
Just,
we can
just
always
to
count
make
on
sure
you.
you can get your
We can always
carbs
count
back.
on you for an alliterative pun.
I love me the good alliteration. Just think.
Ancient Ram Inn,
And
Watton-under-Edge,
wordplay.
England. This 12th century inn is one of the oldest in the Western world. It is believed to have once been a pagan burial ground. And boasts
they were
that it-
ramming them into the ground.
and
They worship the ramen.
boasts-
Worshipping the ramen.
And boasts that it is haunted by more than 20 spirits. They were very specific. There's got to be at least
That's just the alcohol,
20.
though. There's at least 20 spirits on that menu.
including ghost children, our favorite, a pagan high priestess, and an incubus. Wow.
Well, yeah.
what a
The
what a
incubus
combination.
caused all the ramen.
That does make sense.
Yep, and the ghost children.
And
They
No,
came
please.
from the ramen.
okay, yeah. I was gonna say, Gary, there's a point that
Well, there's
even
a lot.
I won't cross.
There's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Do we want? This sounds very haunted.
Let's go.
Seriously, this is probably the most haunted place we've read about yet.
Do you think Ben will start funding us to go to these haunted
I
places?
mean,
and not come
probably.
with?
The ghosts would. I feel like it would be
Like,
like
they would-
fishing.
they would scare
you
'em
don't
away.
want to
Yeah, yeah,
talk
yeah,
too
yeah.
loud near the
Yeah,
ghosts, and they
yeah, yeah.
scatter.
Yeah,
And they would hear him on the plane.
that's true.
Now I
Did
do.
you hear that?
I yeah. This sounds very haunted. Incubuses, priestesses,
20 spirits on,
Incubi.
ghost children.
20 spirits on the menu.
Port Arthur, Australia. There are many ghost tours around Port Arthur to satisfy worldly ghost hunters. The Tasmanian town was an 18th century convict settlement and a hotbed of paranormal activity. Great. That sounds cool. Queen Mary.
Yep.
Berg, Wolfsegg, Germany. This 800-year-old castle in the yeah, I tried to correct myself. I was just too far gone. Municipality of Wolfsegg, Germany, is apparently haunted by a white woman. Another woman in white.
No.
It's not a white woman. It's a white woman.
Yeah. Jeez, come on.
So here's
She could be wearing anything. We don't know.
She may be wearing nothing.
Nice.
So in order to be one of our ghostly women, here's your uniform, who scares off any visitors who pass. This woman is rumored to be the ghost of Clara von Heffelstein, who was reportedly murdered by her jealous husband.
Sounds like a Dr. Seuss character.
Does actually.
Lizzie Borden House. Most people know about that.
No.
Casa Loma, Toronto, Canada. Canada's pretty haunted, I guess.
Damn.
Haunted with good times.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No.
It's a boot.
About that.
All right, let's read about this one. Casa Loma, Toronto, Canada, completed in 1914. I would love to hear of a super haunted place that was built like last year.
This building was built in 2019, and it's haunted by 300 ghosts. We don't know where they came from.
It was a really rough weekend.
Yes. Oh man, completed in 1914.
The
This Gothic.
ceiling collapsed.
Oh.
Killed everybody. Now they haunt it.
And then we
We
rebuilt
rebuilt
it.
it really fast.
Yeah.
And instead of shutting the place down,
No.
They were like, where did the
Oh,
ghost
man.
come from? Well, we borrowed these supporting beams. I guess we just took too many.
Whoops.
Whoops. Yeah, that's what you want to hear
Yeah,
from the
whoops.
person.
And then you
Whoops.
hear the ghost behind them. Whoops.
Oh man. Well, we only have like 9 minutes left.
Oh, man.
But if you could go anywhere haunted in the world, would it be the catacombs? Would that be your number one spot?
Off the list that we've read today, yes. That was
Probably,
the
yeah.
number one spot.
Okay. You don't want to like kind of ease into it with like a nice friendly haunting in Canada?
Honestly, as
then kinda
weird as it
go
is.
more creepy.
Well, I've
from
been to
there.
I've been to like the Lizzie Borden house.
Oh, okay.
I've done that, yeah. Which to me, it didn't. I mean, it was. I mean, I guess it was creepy in the sense that
That happened.
happened
Yes.
there, but nothing about the house itself seemed
Right.
creepy to me.
Right.
More of the event that took place and then your mind places there
Right.
than
Yeah.
the actual house itself being creepy.
Yeah.
Now, it was also during the day or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, if I had stayed there at night, who knows?
See, I feel like the places where there is nothing, but hauntings still happen, are going to be creepier than the ones where it is the catacomb where you see like all the skeletons.
to
Because
me-
you're like, well, I mean, let's
obviously
be honest,
they're-
of all places, this would be
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one.
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
expected.
As opposed to walking downstairs and the door slams behind you.
Right,
Because that
right, yeah,
becomes
yeah.
Yes.
What the hell?
what the hell? Exactly. Whereas
Yeah.
if you had a skeleton in your basement in that happened, you're like, okay, it's probably that dude. I should take
If
it
your
out.
basement walls are lined with skulls, sure. All right.
Yeah.
I give
Should we
it.
buy
I give it
this
to you.
house?
I mean, it's got a certain aesthetic. I
It
really
goes.
like.
It goes in my classification or my rules for going to haunted places. Of it cannot be a place that I could see myself actually being in. So,
What do you
for
mean?
example, if it was like a modern house that reminded me of my house,
I see.
I would not be able to go there because
Interesting.
my brain would start forcing me to think it. If it's like the Stanley Hotel or catacombs,
Because at least you can.
I'm not going to be
What
there.
you mean is like you can separate
Exactly.
Like because your home is too normal.
Exactly.
Like it could happen here.
Whereas
Like,
if I go to somewhere where
Yeah.
it's like my condo but haunted, and I see this thing happen, and then I go home and I start seeing
see
something
something,
happen,
yeah,
and my
yeah,
brain
yeah,
goes,
yeah.
clearly haunted because I saw something that happened
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
maybe the
but
ghost
if it's
hitched a ride
catacombs,
on
I'm
the
not
way
gonna
back.
go.
Can-
Well, man,
can
I'm
ghosts
not
do
gonna
that?
go in my own
do what?
catacombs later.
Ghosts
now.
do what?
Can ghosts hitch rides?
That's what we believed when we were kids. I told you everywhere we went,
Oh yeah, that's true.
something was haunted.
Like Dan went to visit like the Stanley Hotel, and one ghost is like, "I'm getting out of here, guys."
Well,
And, like,
actually,
walked us down.
my ex was saying that some employees would say that had happened to them. That one dude woke up and apparently saw like a woman on him, and then
forgot about the prostitute he was.
he killed her. No, apparently like that actually. It was recorded that this girl ghost would apparently like multiple male employees had mentioned
So
that
she's a slutty ghost.
it's a slutty ghost. Exactly. But apparently like that kind of thing does happen, and it just creeps me out.
Mm-hmm.
But they would never want to come to my place. I got salt on the door.
Hypothetically,
Okay.
if I were to wake up in the middle of the night and there would be a figure standing over my bed,
Which
I do have a gun, and I probably would just, if it was a ghost, I'd probably just end up shooting my TV. And then I'd be pissed. I'd have to make the ghost fill out an insurance form.
You know, the weirdest thing about the waking up and seeing someone there, because I've got a weird number of stories that relate to this, was when I was at my cousin's wedding at the Boulder Hotel, which is known for being haunted, but clearly not to the extent to be on one of these lists, that I woke up in the middle of the night and I saw someone at the end of my bed. And for some reason, my brain never registered what it actually was until the next day. And I mentioned it to my mom and described what I saw. And she was like, did you know that place is haunted? And looked up a picture and showed it to me. And I was like, that's what I saw. What the fudge? It was creepy. And that's why I don't go to that hotel ever again.
Yeah, you know what else is creepy? This picture.
Oh!
That's
Yeah.
super creepy. I'm going to cast this to the screen.
Oh, that
This
ghost
is how
got
this-
friend-zoned.
Nope, that's
Can you
the
imagine
hills.
she's just like used to it?
All right.
She's like, oh yeah, this
You
is the ghost. He
see-
haunts me.
You see this? You see this? That's the ghost.
Yep. That's super creepy.
This one. Either that or it was
I mean,
the world's fastest photo bomber.
and it's like a naked ghost. That's really weird.
Well, I mean, if you're already dead,
What does it matter?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Hang free.
I would hang free.
Hang loose, whatever. So I decided to look up the most haunted or like the actual ghost pictures. Some of these look like early photography
yeah,
Things, yeah.
I can see that.
mistakes or early photography tricks. You know,
Yeah.
those are very popular.
Like damage
So,
to the
damage.
footage
Yeah.
and-
So that one.
'Cause that
I
one
don't-
looks like a burn.
This one looks like hey, sit in this chair for a second, and then get out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is
however,
which is
that
how you would do that.
That one's interesting because of the fact that his body stops exactly where that pole does.
Well, that depends on how he's moving during the exposure.
But like
Yeah.
in
But
the,
he's also
I'm
not
just
blurry
saying in
anywhere
general
else,
for the
so
picture.
He's also not.
It actually turns
There's no
out
blur
that
anywhere
figure
here.
in the background is the real ghost.
The figure. You're so distracted by this ghost,
You don't even notice this
You don't
ghost.
even notice-
Okay, that's creepy.
Yeah.
I have seen this one.
Yes. Okay, where is it on the actual picture? I'm trying to find it.
I think he's supposed to be in the back corner.
Back corner. I don't see it. I'm gonna freak out as soon as I do see it.
It's actually right behind.
Actually, I think
the
it's probably
giant
supposed to be
circle.
right here. I think it's actually
Because
right
you know
here.
logically
That
you
is really creepy.
cover it up. That one is.
Freddie Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like another. Honestly, that just looks like another play photo.
Oh.
Like, let's just.
Yeah, I see the.
Yeah.
I see.
Although that
it
arm
looks
is
like
really,
Jesus.
This arm is really long.
God damn it! I touched my ear and I'm now spooked.
The back seat ghost
Yeah.
looks like somebody back seat.
I was gonna say that looks like it could be somebody in the back seat. It doesn't even look like.
I was actually thought
yep.
it was that the white spot
Yep.
on the.
There's a dude in the background.
That looks like a photo bomb.
Looks like a
that
photo
could just be the
guy.
guy who was like, what? Oh,
Just a
sorry,
photo
sorry,
bomb.
sorry.
sorry.
We got our
Man,
Ron
I had to
Swanson
stand for
photo
5
bomb.
minutes to do this photo.
Yeah, ghost in the burning building.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy. Or like she's
God.
figuring out that the building is on fire and is like, I need to get out of here. Yeah. Oh, hey, I should probably get out.
Oh, this sucks.
The ghost of the SS Water. What is that? What am I even looking at?
The two faces.
Yeah, I don't understand. Let's see here. Lady sitting on a park bench. Okay. Could just been a lady sitting on a park bench. That looks like a splotch.
That one's. Yeah.
Looks like a watermark. That's kind of creepy. Yeah.
Oh,
somebody's
yeah.
standing. It's always more
It looks
creepy
like
when
a
it's in
plague
church.
mask. A plague doctor mask.
Yeah,
kinda?
you're right. Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
1963 by
Or-
Reverend K.F.
Or their
Ward,
faces
Navy Church.
melting.
It's
That
been a
is also
controversial photo
possible.
because it is just too good. The shrouded face and the way it is looking directly into the camera makes it look like it was posed. A clever double exposure, yet supposedly the photo has been scrutinized by photo experts who say that the image is not the result of a double exposure.
Huh. Interesting.
No idea what we're looking at here.
It's a
Oh,
bush.
I see. It looks like someone with a guitar or an instrument or something.
Really?
Looks like a raccoon to me.
It does look like a raccoon.
Like here.
Hey, ghost raccoons are a thing.
On here, it's very hard to see. Up there, it's a little easier.
So you said this house had a raccoon infestation? Yes, but there's one detail.
Nah, we might have trapped two of them.
They're ghost coons.
And one has come back to haunt us.
Just one.
Just one, though. We don't know what happened to the other one.
I don't see anything.
I think it's supposed to be up in the choir loft.
Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Oh, wait, that's actually way better up here.
Yeah.
You can see it much more clearly. Yeah.
That's what I'm...
Okay, the choir that never left. This looks like double exposure. No, definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Interesting.
Some of these are super creepy. Here we have a family photo. And a lady just popping up out of the middle of the table. I guess there were a couple photos taken. But yeah, she's literally like coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's creepy.
Yeah, that one's like actually colored too.
80s photos. Okay. These are terrible scans, these images.
That is
Man.
bad resolution.
This one's super creepy.
Yeah.
Naked ghost.
2000.
Yep.
Two girlfriends. Well, I want to read what it says.
Oh, yeah.
You got two girlfriends. Were out for a walk for one night. One of them entreated a passing stranger to photograph them using cell phone camera, hence the low resolution picture. Result shown here with a transparent figure seeming to tug on the girl's arm with a firm, if friendly, grip. We have to admit that the ghost could have been added with imaging processing.
Oh, okay.
See, even these are like, we don't know. It could,
It
could be real. It
We
could
don't
be
know.
not.
Creepy hand grabbing something. Yeah, these are
Oh, yeah,
so
I can see
fake.
that one.
Cemetery ghost, baby. That's fake.
That
That's
one's
so
definitely.
fake.
Look up modern day ghost pictures. Because
Modern
modern
ghost
day, I feel like we're at the point that if someone
Modern
posted a ghost picture online, you would
ghost
have hundreds of Redditors trying to prove it wrong.
Well, we're over time. Who
And
cares?
yes, I am specifically saying.
Scary ghost stock photos. That's great.
Stock photos.
All of my
13
photos in my house are actually just ghost stock photos.
Ghost stock photos.
It's just
actually-
creepier that way.
Little did you know, it's actually the stock photo company is haunted.
Oh.
Now, there you
And
go.
it was a fired
yeah.
employee.
Okay. Oh,
It
wait,
died in
you
the
cast it.
basement
You
in the
cast
boiler
it. I
room.
forgot to cast.
It's always the boiler room.
It's always
just
the
saying.
boiler. No, not print.
That's right,
No!
sir. Oh, God. The ghosts want their pictures printed in high
Could
def.
you get me a good print of this? Yes.
It's a good ghost.
Okay. All right, here we are. This will be our last thing, and then we'll be done.
Okay. That guy's got one
Okay,
hella
Club
beard.
Mega, yeah. ZZ Top came to the art
I
gallery.
mean, I feel like
Yep.
that could have been some guy dressed that way,
Yeah.
honestly.
That-
And someone took a photo of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that one interesting, because I was going to say it might have been someone moving during the picture,
They'd
but the
have to be
person
moving
there is a
very
dude.
fast. Yeah.
And that's a dude's head.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
That one's...
That one's creepy. No,
Oh.
that looks like a...
That's Russell Crowe.
From Master and Commander.
That's
Yeah,
Russell Crowe from Master
It
and
also
Commander.
looks like a painting of some kind. That
Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks
Okay,
like
these
me.
are yeah, creepy.
Little girl, people call it ghost of a samurai.
Where am I?
Yeah,
Under the
like it looks
legs.
like there's rocks behind her.
Yep, looks like rocks.
Oh,
All
I
right.
see it. Their feet.
Yeah.
There were feet angled at the ocean. Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
That looks like it was placed
That,
there.
yeah, that looks like
Looks like a
something in the
mask.
window. Okay,
That's
that's
fake.
creepy as hell.
Yep.
See, that looks fake to me.
It's always when it's kids. It's always creepy when it's kids. I have seen more convincing photos.
I
don't
have
know
too.
why I
Like
can't-
most of these look faked
I don't know
to
what
me.
that is.
It's a spirit following around the old. It's an old tour guide.
That's just a splotch.
These are creepy. Water
Okay, that
thing.
one's creepy.
That is kind of. It's Groot. This is one of the more.
See that
convincing
one?
I've
Okay,
seen,
that one
yeah.
kind of looks realistic. Yeah.
Oh,
What is
Ghost ruins. I like that. That was probably their first.
Ghost Ruins?
See that?
okay, that's a doll.
I don't know what that is. Doll on fire?
Yeah. Fire doll. Holy
Hey,
shit.
But could be a photo bomber.
That could definitely be a
Yeah.
photo bomber.
Yep. somebody
Gollum
just-
bombed their wedding.
Also, that woman needs to
Crashed
stop
it.
smiling like that.
She looks fine.
No, that's wait. It's like
All right.
I had my wedding.
I have a challenge for you guys. Find actual ghost photos and send them to us.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
like 90% of
These
these
are
just
bad.
look like fake to me.
They were so fake.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So bad. All right. Well, that is our episode today. Most
Yes.
haunted places in the world. Decided to look up some ghost pictures because why not? You can find Dan here.
We got these
Dan?
ghosts.
They can find me on Twitter and
currently
Instagram at Dan Producer or on Twitch at Dan
Get rid
Streamer.
of this. You can find me on Twitter at Film Circuit. Maybe back on YouTube again here at Film Circuit. We'll see. And on Instagram at Northward Films. Should I be singing What is Love?
What is love?
Oh, yeah. We lost our connection.
Dun,
Great. Thank you,
dun,
Ghost.
dun, 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 dun.
Andy, where can they find you?
Ghosts. You can find me for I Am the Andy on Instagram, and you can go glorp yourselves.
Friendly. In a friendly way.
Yeah, in a friendly way. Yeah.
Means it nicely. So thank you for joining us for this episode of Mystery Cast right here on Tales of Earth. Thank you.